Hello. Welcome to Engadget's YouTube channel. We're here to watch Samsung's Galaxy Unpacked event that is happening in about 20 minutes with you. I'm reviews editor Sherlyn Lowe. Joining me for this watch party is Voguing, senior Vogue editor.
Hey, it's me. That's my official new title. I demanded that, and I did get it, so we can change that lower third. Senior Vogue editor Chris Velasco, not at home, which is a bit strange, but making the best of a weird situation.
Chris Vogesco.
Don't you even start. That was disgusting.
Oh, no. Well, anyway, we are here for what is like Samsung's fourth event in as many months this year.
Can you even tell the difference anymore? Like, I think this is the same like hold animation. They're all, it's just one big event that's stretched out over the last 4 months. It never.
You're going to speculate again what the shape in the box might mean.
Yeah, what is What does it mean that the box opens up and the light sort of forms the shape of perhaps a computer? I don't know.
You know what I forgot to do before we went live is to tweet out that we are doing this.
We are on a roll today.
I am pretty tired, but you guys will see why. If you're excited for the show, please leave us a message in the live chat. We are going to take a look at them. But we're also going to keep quiet when the stream does kick off at 10 a.m. Eastern, except for when it warrants some response from us. Otherwise, why watch it with us? If Samsung does something silly, we'll be there.
If they play awesome music again, we're going to be all over it.
We will definitely be dancing. I think so.
Sherlyn, while you tweet to let people know that we're actually doing this, I'm gonna quickly. I've been running through the chat. I've been in the chat for a little while now. Just want to shine a quick light on some of our fan favorites, some of the people who've always been with us. Mark Dell just showed up. What's going on, Mark? Josh Sakdeva. If I'm saying that wrong, let me know how to pronounce it in the chat. Good to see you again. We also have some interesting questions already, one of which is not actually a question. R7M, RBLX, in the pre-show.
Hey, we know that. We know that person.
Sure. I'm sure we do.
As a regular. They're a regular.
Yes, I definitely recognize it, but I have not come up with a succinct, fun way to say the name. R7M, RBLX is wondering, what if? Because Samsung is saying, this is the most powerful Galaxy ever. What if the most powerful Galaxy ever is the Tab S8? And frankly, I would love that. We did just see, of course, Apple unveil its new iPad Pros, which uses the exact same M1 chipset that it uses across its line of MacBooks, and now more recently, the new iMac. Would it be cool to see something like that work its way over into the Android ecosystem, especially with regard to tablets, which have always kind of gotten the short end of the stick? Sherlyn, do you want a high-powered Samsung tablet?
I think there are people that want a high-powered Samsung tablet. There's market for them. I think what high-powered tablets are generally used for these days are as like laptop replacement or substitute types. And I'm still not convinced that like there's software out there that can do that just yet. So it depends. Do I want to pay a premium high-end tablet money for a Netflix machine, or do I want like a true laptop substitute? You know what I mean? I do want a bigger screen because I've been playing Cooking Dash a lot on my phone, and like it sucks because my thumbs are too fat, basically.
We're gonna have to break out the overhead cam so we can watch you use your fat thumbs to play Cooking Dash
at some point.
But you raise a really good point about the software, and I do think Samsung, if they decided to go this route, is probably better equipped than most. I don't think that Samsung's Exynos chipsets, at least as far as we've seen, is really kind of capable of competing at the laptop level just yet. But you got to figure, I mean, Samsung Android tablets for a little while have at least had access to the DeX desktop operating experience, which gives you, at least compared to iPad OS, just a more familiar, cleaner way to kind of get things done. It's a very familiar paradigm. It's great for people who want a little more out of the tablet experience, but it sort of wraps in a way that makes a lot of sense if you're used to a more traditional laptop in your life. So Samsung feasibly could do well here if that's something they decide to show off today. But then again, who knows?
Who the hell knows? Honestly, shout outs, obviously.
Hey,
I think shout out a lot.
We gotta stop saying that.
Can't stop saying shout out, but y'all can drink something. And every time I say shout out today, what word do we think Samsung's gonna overuse today?
Well, I think we've talked about this just a bit already during the pre-show, and it does sound like everyone's fairly convinced we're looking at some sort of laptop. I mean, if we're honest, if you're going to allow me to sort of peer at Samsung's tea leaves here, the box that just sort of opens up and sort of reveals that shining light with a flap beneath it that does kind of look quite a bit like a laptop. And this is how I'm going to talk for the rest of the show. I'm sorry.
Can't. Okay. Well,
at one point,
anyway,
I should point out, sorry, really quick. This is just me. When we were listening to Samsung's pre-roll in our little backstage thing, the volume was turned quite low, so it sounded a lot like someone was breathing. And I was like, maybe they're going to go full ASMR for this stream, just like I've always wanted to. So if they do, you have to promise me that if they do go full ASMR at some point, I also get to do that.
No. I mean, fine. I'll let you have it. You know why? Because I don't think they're going to do ASMR. So there you go.
That's fine. This is going to
You can have this. This is the one thing you can have.
Thank you. You're going to regret this so badly in like 3 years.
No. Hello to Alex W, G Markey, who says hello everyone. Mithlesh Singh, Victorious 416, Pat Kilo. Pat Kilo is a somewhat familiar name. I've seen that name before. Unbox it, see it, buy it. Wow, what a name. Sando Alexander, Amit Das, etc. There's quite a lot of you gathered here. It'll be fun, I hope.
I should mention for the benefit of 19PS2057, Shawshank N is MKBHD here. No. No. He's a great guy. Love that guy. Does not work for us.
He's not here. Not here right now. Sorry. Seems like a cool person. So unfortunately not here, But hashtag squad. Shouting out to Mark.
Hashtag
Ross
fam.
Alexander. Hashtag fam. Oh Lord. Looking through to see if there's any other people who
I have it on good authority that sort of industry colleague Brenda Stoliar is like, should I say hi in the stream? And I've just taken all of the.
Of course she should.
Away from that situation. Hi, we know you're watching. And to confirm, MKBHD not here.
Sad. Well, maybe he's watching us. You know what I mean? That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, whatever. It's fine. I happen to like our audience just the way it is, but
You see, I mean, I like it. People who watch us and are nice. I see that and I appreciate that. So coming up in about 12 minutes, we're expecting Samsung's going to start the Unpacked event live stream. As a reminder, Chris Velasco and I are trying to keep it quiet so we won't interrupt or make it hard for you to hear what Samsung is saying. We will react when necessary. But yeah, I mean, I don't expect this event to go very long. I think it will not be longer than an hour, and I would bet money on it. But I don't think that.
So you just floated the notion of making a bet here on the old YouTube streams.
I would bet a sandwich.
I'll take that. I'll bet you a cake.
Don't even do this to me right now.
What cake? So you think it'll be less than an hour?
Yes, but
so if it's 1 minute, if it's 1 hour and 1 minute, I win.
And you win.
What kind of cake?
That's what I'm asking you.
Well, I'm asking you, like, what's like a suitable cake to like a Paris baguette cake or something?
Like a Lady M crepe cake. Tiramisu
really?
Counts as a cake, I guess.
Let's call it a Lady M crepe cake because because if I purchase one, I will have absolutely no desire to eat it before I give it to you.
Why?
They're fine. They're okay.
Travesty. What? Blasphemy.
Sherlyn and I had, along with a couple other friends, had a sort of interesting discussion about addiction last night. And yes. I like cigarettes, and Sherlyn likes cake. So that should give you a sense of exactly where her relationship with desserts lie. But we'll leave that for a little later. A couple things I wanted to point out in the chat, which I think I have lost.
Hello to Richard Lai, also, by the way.
Wait, is our Lai in the chat? Hey, yeah. Richard Lai.
Richard says the cake is a lie. Richard Lai says the cake is a lie. I don't know if that's an intentional pun.
We need James True in here so we can get the full True Lies.
The True Lies, yes.
Francisco asks, "Are you all based in New York? Cheers from Berlin." Cheers to you in Berlin, my friend. We are normally both based in
Hello.
New York or around, but at the moment we are quite a few miles apart, which is probably for the best.
Aspire asks, "Is Samsung going to release the Nintendo Switch 2?" Ha 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 ha.
Yes, you heard it here first. Switch Pro confirmed. Samsung is producing it. Please blog about that immediately, and then cite someone else.
Mark Dell asked if we're talking about cake cigs. Oh boy, no. Enrico Magnifico says, "Don't smoke, kids." I hear ya.
Oh,
I
yes.
have been trying to get V to quit. Let's make it clear we're not
should
supporting.
make this absolutely clear. My smoking cigarettes is completely a personal character flaw. Everyone I know hates it, so don't be like me because people will dislike you.
I already dislike V. I dislike a lot of people that smoke. TechnoBeat TV says hello to everyone in the Engadget squad team fam. Watching from the Philippines. Nice to meet you. Hi. V, did you have
I'm just going through again.
You speak like a minimal amount of Tagalog, right?
Kunti lang. And
Okay.
and like me trying to remember how to say those two words, which mean I only speak a very little amount, took way more energy and the brain compute cycles than I care to admit. So pretty embarrassing. I'm not pleased with myself.
I mean, you can learn. It's never too late. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. I've spent more time trying to learn like other Asian languages,
You sure have.
which is a little messed up.
We have too many stories about that. Adil Akhtar says, "Love from India." Ari Koloshi's from Albania, I believe. There's someone watching from Delhi. I love this part where everyone shouts out their country or the place that they're watching from.
Yeah.
Because it reminds us we have a global audience.
Yep, Manik Gupta SXS. Note 21 Ultra. Probably not today, friend, but, a boy can dream. I'd love to see one.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Dizon Films. Haha, are you half Pinoy, Chris? I'm full Pinoy, actually, so that makes my complete inability to speak Tagalog even worse.
Max Plamenko said, "Hi from Russia." High Performance Mode said, "Samsung is launching Patience version 5.0.1.005. I mean...
Oh, Pat Austin. Hey, bud. Good to see you.
Oh, Pat Austin's here. Hi.
Arun Krishnaswamy. Hi from Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, what a great town that is. A lot of fond memories from Pittsburgh when I got into it. Not great car accident. And wrote a pretty good story.
See, all
afterwards.
of these stories involve really
They're not good.
terrifying, life-threatening situations. Not good for you. Not good for people to follow.
No.
So please don't learn from him. Learn from his mistakes.
of which there are many, and expect that on Engadget at some point soon.
If you want something wholesome, I'm Sherlyn Lowsome. ZZ is saying hi from China via VPN. Aiden says, "Love from America." Hello, love to you from America. To Rorschach is in London. Arlen, I see Look Live, California, Scotland, Urdu, Morocco. Wow.
Drill
Pluto.
Yosef, Pluto.
Not even
Drill
a planet
Yosef,
anymore.
the most powerful galaxy ever is definitely a laptop. We shall, well, maybe. Which a pretty good reminder of the fact that we will find out whether that's true in about 6 minutes. So if you have any inclination to go get yourself a coffee or use the bathroom or check your email or just sort of make yourself cozy before the event officially starts, this is officially your 5 to 6 minute warning. So go take care of that stuff now.
Yes, indeed. So lots of people are now even more places you're from. Canada is CA, not California CA. Ethiopia is, yeah. I want to address a couple of
Singapore.
Where?
Joel Ting. Joel, yeah.
Oh, hi. That's where I'm from. I got distracted. You said Singapore.
Sorry.
G Marky asked, "Do you think a Snapdragon will ever be in laptops?" Yeah, actually, there's been quite a few Snapdragon laptops. Feel free to check out some of my reviews. I've reviewed a whole bunch of them. The Surface Pro X actually has a Microsoft SQ1 chip, SQ2 in the later one, that's based on Snapdragon DNA too. So definitely go check that out. Angelo asked, "Do we think Samsung will also implement app tracking transparency?"
Not
Don't think
holding
that's a
my breath.
Samsung question. Maybe
Anytime
a
soon.
Google. Um, Hi from Melbourne, Australia, New Zealand, seriously, all over the world. Beijing. ZZ says, I'm tempted to
Whoa,
speak some
Sherlyn,
Cantonese because,
hang on. If you look inside that floating box at
oh
one
boy.
point, there was a device that sort of takes a particular shape, sort of reminiscent of the Nokia 7610. I feel like I've made this exact same observation before, which leads me to believe that Samsung is just recycling these intros, and I hate that. I hate that very much.
Yeah, yeah. I am just trying to avoid speculating too much or guessing, playing too many guessing games or games of chance.
I wonder
Mostly because
why.
it's
Huh?
very soon
Huh?
we will learn all about it. Frank Dizon or Dizon or I don't know how, sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Frank Dizon Films said that they enjoyed your review of the AirTags or your coverage of the AirTags.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad we got to make use of that entire second separate video in which I just pooped all over a product that I did not think worked.
I thought you just pooped. Period.
Well,
That's
that's something for us to talk about offline. Thanks, Sherlyn.
Yes, offline it is. Jaren John, any chance we will get a note this early in the year? Unlikely. V and I have addressed that earlier.
I'm gonna go ahead and say like a 0 chance of that happening. Sorry.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Pat Kilo asks, isn't the Surface Pro X the only current selling Snapdragon laptop? Maybe all the other Snapdragon laptops have failed, perhaps. The Asus Nova Go was the first one way back, I think in 2018 or even 2019. Then there was like HP Envy X something. Lenovo made a bunch of Snapdragon laptops. Don't know if Dell ever really made one. Actually, Dell might have been the only holdout.
Do you remember what chipset the Nova Go used? I want to say it was like
an 835 or 845.
yeah.
It was like a phone chip.
Good attempt, guys. Yeah, that's can't imagine that one worked out super well. By the way, if anyone has an Asus Nova Go and wants to talk about what Snapdragon chips are like in laptops, let's hit us up in the chat. We're having a good conversation.
Mark is asking if there will be a review of the purple iPhone.
No, never. Stop. I want nothing to do with this phone. It's purple. Get over it. It's done.
Oh my gosh. Pat Austin, our friend, says Chris wants new screensavers and he wants them now.
Yes, I also want new wallpapers so people can ask me what wallpapers I'm using in my reviews on Twitter.
Oh, that's true. People keep asking.
That's like 50% of my like replies and stuff on Twitter. I should whip up with it.
Speaking of your reviews, Caden Fowler in the chat said, I quite enjoy Engadget reviews. Wish there was more though. V, you should work harder.
What? You work harder.
You work harder.
Yeah, I know. Fine.
Well, both of us.
Feedback well taken. We will work on producing more for you, our friends.
We appreciate it, though. I mean, we appreciate
We do actually appreciate it.
The reason.
I'm being glib, but we really do love and appreciate all of your support. We're coming up on just about 2 minutes now. 1 minute. Actually, so this is it. Last moment to check your email, fix a drink, snuggle up under a blanket if you're in the right time zone, and just get ready for Samsung's April 2021 Unpacked. It starts at 10 a.m. Eastern, 1 minute, less than a minute. Hang in there.
Definitely hang in there. Arian SK says, do more laptop reviews. I promise you they're coming.
More laptop reviews. Josh Suchdeva, guys, buy the LG Wing if you get it on discount. Can't argue with that. If you can find a cheap LG Wing, I say go for it.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Right before Josh Sakdeva, what's your daily driver in terms of smartphone? Francisco asked. Mine's a Pixel 4a right now.
Mine, I switch back and forth, but I'm currently going all in on the Z Fold 2, and it's we could talk about it later because the show is starting.
It's about to start, so stay around, and we will be back with a post show to answer your questions. So stick around, leave your questions in the chat, and we'll talk for another hour after Samsung wraps. By the way, it's 10:01 a.m. and you can go to Engadget.com to see my hands-on for what Samsung is unveiling right now.
It's
So
all
go
been
ahead and check it out.
revealed. Just regional and stuff. Okay, bye.
Hello, and welcome to a very special Unpack. Over the last decade, we at Samsung have pioneered countless exciting mobile experiences. New hardware, new software, new ways to stay connected and give you the freedom to live your life to the fullest. With all of our mobile innovations and so many more industry-leading technologies, we have reinvented yet another category, the personal computer. Today, I'm so proud to introduce you to the next evolution of the PC, the new line of Galaxy Books, true mobile computing for the connected world. When we set out to reimagine a new mobile computing experience, we asked ourselves a single question: why can't laptops be more like smartphones? The answer was right in front of us: mobility, connectivity, continuity. Performance on the go, ultra vivid displays, and seamless integration with your devices. Everything that has always been at the core of the Galaxy experience. And now, we've brought all of that to the PC, the latest addition to the incredible Galaxy ecosystem. The Galaxy Books are ultra-light and ultra-mighty, as thin as a smartphone, but as powerful as a PC. They have boundless connectivity so that you always have the freedom to set your own hours wherever you go. And they are a window into your Galaxy, perfectly designed for seamless use across all of your favorite devices. And for the very first time, flawless integration across Android and Windows, the result of open collaboration with long-standing partners to provide the best connected experience. You'll hear more about the collaboration behind the new Galaxy Books in a few minutes. But first, here's Stephanie to tell you more about all the ways that the Galaxy brand is changing the world.
Thanks, Tien. So let's talk about the Samsung Galaxy approach to meaningful innovation and how it can help enrich people's lives through technology and empower them to create a more open and collaborative world. Meaningful innovation means we have to overcome the barriers that stand in the way of people's passions, progress, and pursuit of a better future. We need to innovate for a world that's open in every way, so people could be the best versions of themselves. A world where they don't have to compromise who they are or what they believe in to achieve their dreams. And they expect a mobile experience that matches up. They want technology that translates vision into reality. And this has always been the spirit of Samsung Galaxy. When we wanted to give people more freedom to express themselves, we designed the S Pen and the Galaxy Note. And to offer new levels of versatility, we revolutionized the smartphone category with the Galaxy Fold. But Galaxy is more than just game-changing technology. It's about empowering experiences without limitations. We believe in giving people the flexibility to connect with devices, platforms, and brands on their own terms. Now, we're bringing our open world mindset and the latest innovation to a category that's ready for a bold new chapter: personal computers. With so many people working and learning remotely, PCs have taken on a bigger role in our lives. Yet, we're still using technology designed for the old rules of work and play. So as TM just mentioned, we found ourselves wondering, why can't laptops be more like smartphones. After all, smartphones are ready for anything. They pack high-end performance in a design that's thin, lightweight, and totally portable. You can connect to the internet with or without Wi-Fi 24/7. Share photos and files in an instant, all with a full-day battery that can keep up with your life. We're bringing what people love most about their smartphones to a conventional laptop experience, so you can communicate, collaborate, and innovate wherever you are. Because when we eliminate the barriers that stand in our way, we discover new paths and possibilities. Life opens up with Galaxy. Back to you, TM.
Thank you, Stephanie. At Samsung, we have always believed that the best innovations only happen with teamwork. In order to innovate, you have to collaborate. Nowhere is that more true than with our new mobile computing experience, the result of an amazing collaboration between Samsung, Intel, and Microsoft. I'd like to welcome to the stage my good friend, Gregory Bryant at Intel.
Hey, TM, it's great to be here. Thank you for having me.
And joining us remotely, Panas Panay from our close partner, Microsoft.
Thanks, TM. So nice to see you, and great to see you as well, GB.
For over 50 years, Intel has pushed the limits of silicon. They've done it again with the Galaxy Book, the first computer to combine the mobility and freedom of a smartphone with the power and performance of a PC. And when it comes to productivity with the continuity, Microsoft is the best in the business. Whether working remotely or enhancing your productivity between PC and mobile, Microsoft knew just what the Galaxy Books needed. We all brought our best ideas to the table to completely reimagine mobile computing for a new era. GB, take it away.
Thank you, TM. It's an honor to be here. Samsung and Intel have a shared vision to deliver premier computing experiences that deliver uncompromised mobility, blazing fast connectivity, and real-world performance, all to unlock people's potential. And over the years, we've made significant progress towards this vision. And today, I'm excited to announce that we're doing something even bolder and more industry-shaping. We're bringing together the best of our two companies, the best of the PC and smartphone experiences, our technology portfolio, our engineers and brands, to build an ecosystem of devices that work seamlessly together and that delights consumers. And that starts today with the launch of some of the industry's best Intel Evo designs. As a result of investing hundreds of thousands of hours, we've co-engineered a new family of PCs that meet all the verified standards of the Evo platform, including industry-leading responsiveness, instant wake, and long battery life. We then elevated that experience further by delivering the world's thinnest Evo designs, custom Bluetooth enablement that unlocks seamless interactions across peripherals and devices, and industry-leading connectivity, including 5G and Wi-Fi 6E capability. This experience is unmatched in the industry. Now, looking ahead, you can expect even more from this unique partnership. We'll create a new co-engineering team dedicated to advancing mobile computing innovation. We'll deliver leading-edge technologies, including a new microarchitecture from us at Intel, leveraging multiple types of XPU cores, unique PC designs aligned with a Galaxy DNA, more personalized computing through enhanced AI technology, and a stronger continuity of experiences, allowing people to work seamlessly and share content across all their devices. And we're launching a global co-marketing program that spotlights the premier computing experience delivered by Intel Evo-powered Galaxy devices that will engage and inspire. We're proud to be on this journey with Samsung and believe that together we can pave a new path and set a new standard for computing. Thank you.
Thank you, GB. And thank you to everyone at Intel who contributed to this project. And now, Panos will tell you more about the exciting new Microsoft experiences created for the Galaxy Book.
Thanks, TM. I'm so honored to join you at Samsung Unpacked. We have an incredible history, more than 2 decades of collaboration, bringing innovative Windows PCs, Windows tablets, and Samsung phones to market together, bringing Microsoft apps and services to life, including the likes of OneDrive, Outlook, Your Phone linked directly into Windows, and seamless integration with Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all on Samsung devices, enabling people to live productive anywhere, anytime. And after a year of change, we're looking to a future where people are regrounding themselves in what's important to them, to each of us. How we stay connected, how we work, learn, how we socialize and entertain. Whether it's for work or school or home, our PCs, our tablets, and mobile devices are more essential right now than they've ever been before. And today, we're excited to take the next step forward in our partnership with Samsung. Samsung's launching a new portfolio of connected Windows PCs and expanding the availability of all of these awesome devices to more geographies and customers. This is super exciting. This PC portfolio builds on Samsung's strength in highly mobile and connected devices and solutions. And together, we're integrating Windows even deeper within the Galaxy ecosystem to create experiences that are simple, smooth, and stunning. I'm incredibly proud to be working together to help our customers stay connected, be more productive, more creative, and discover brand new possibilities with Samsung and Microsoft together. We're so excited for what the future holds. Back to you, TM.
Thank you, Panos, and thank you, Microsoft, for such an amazing collaboration. I'm so proud of everything we did together. The results speak for themselves. They combine stylish mobility, boundaryless connectivity, and seamless continuity. The next amazing chapter in the story of the PC. This is mobile computing powered by Samsung Galaxy. Let's meet the all-new Galaxy Book Pro and Galaxy Book Pro 360.
Now my neck is open wide, begging for a fist around it. Already choking on my pride, so there's no use crying about it. I'm headed straight for the castle. They wanna make me their queen. And there's an old man sitting on a throne. I probably shouldn't be so mean. I'm headed straight for the castle. They've got the kingdom now. Probably keep my pretty mouth shut. Straight for the castle.
Introducing the all-new Galaxy Book Pro and Galaxy Book Pro 360. For the first time ever, we're bringing the smartphone experience straight to your PC. Galaxy Book Pro comes in a clamshell design. At just 11.2 millimeters and 868 grams, the 13.3-inch Galaxy Book Pro is the thinnest and lightest Galaxy Book ever. Meanwhile, the 2-in-1 convertible Galaxy Book Pro 360 is more than a PC. It's a creative canvas you can take anywhere. It's as thin as your smartphone and weighs about 1 kilogram. Using our expertise from designing Galaxy foldable smartphones, we created the thinnest hinge possible for a convertible PC, giving you a smooth and seamless experience. Both models are available in 2 sizes, 13.3-inch and 15.6-inch. Each model comes in its own set of 3 gorgeous colors. The Galaxy Book Pro has a striking 2-tone color, while a Galaxy Book Pro 360 sports a full metallic look. Our team crafted every part of this PC to break new ground in computer design. Let's take a closer look.
we built the Galaxy Book Pro series with the durability and lightness you expect from your smartphone. Presenting our newest additions to the Galaxy lineup, the Galaxy Book Pro 360 and Galaxy Book Pro, PCs infused with our Galaxy DNA. With 360-degree turns, the Galaxy Book Pro 360 is built for conventional and unconventional uses. A PC this flexible needs to be able to handle everything you do from every angle. So we made this Galaxy Book incredibly durable. To keep it light without compromising that durability, we chose 6000 series aluminium as our main ingredient and reimagined our manufacturing process, finding the golden ratio of thickness, weight, and stiffness. To craft the upper portion, we extruded the metal to 2.8 millimeter. With relentless research and experimentation, we discovered the optimal structure. Then, we used the CNC method to slim parts of the upper portion down to 0.5 millimeter while maintaining impressive durability. When crafting the front portion, we combined the standard CNC and press method, so the front portion is now slimmer, half of its original thickness. Then we polished, sandblasted, and anodized. The result, Galaxy Book Pro 360's stunning, durable finish. And for the Galaxy Book Pro, we took portability to new heights. We set out to build a super lightweight PC with the mobility of a smartphone. For this model, we reduced the overall weight. We also meticulously crafted our ultra-slim bezel by using the silk printing method. And for a glossy texture, we incorporated nano-imprinting lithography, a technique used to fabricate semiconductors. This allowed us to create a 15 and 13-inch bezel from the same sheet, optimizing efficiency and reducing waste. So, Galaxy Book Pro is sustainable on top of its lightness and mobility. With the Galaxy Book Pro 360 and Galaxy Book Pro, we've redefined and reimagined laptops, so you can harness more mobility, more possibilities, and more freedom, all on your PC.
As you can see, we were inspired by our smartphones while designing the Galaxy Book series. And we made sure to include some of the best smartphone tech as well, starting with the display. Galaxy Book Pro comes with industry-leading AMOLED displays. They're 30 times more responsive and 200 times more vivid than LCD screens, with 35% more accurate colors. These screens are also equipped with eye care display, which helps reduce eye strain by cutting harmful blue light to less than 6.5%. We also built Galaxy Book Pro with full port support, so you can easily connect to other devices. If you want to kick your productivity up a notch, you can link up to 3 external monitors. And with Thunderbolt 4 support, you can connect to many peripherals, including a display at 8K. And for customers who want our most advanced display technology, Galaxy Book Pro 360's Super AMOLED display goes above and beyond. We brought the signature touchscreen experience from our smartphones and tablets, so you can control the screen like you would a tablet and use an S Pen with it too.
The S Pen comes right in the box, and it's the size of a real pen with a comfortable grip. You can draw, speak, and record easily using our S Pen and screen recorder. And with Studio Plus, you can edit and share your recorded content. And you can do it all without a separate mic, camera, or editing program. The S Pen is the perfect companion for taking your productivity and creativity to the next level.
The AMOLED screens on Galaxy Book Pro and Galaxy Book Pro 360 both give you amazing visual experiences. And with live wallpaper that changes to match the time of day, you can enjoy our displays in all their vibrant colors. But these models don't just deliver great visuals. They also deliver amazing sound quality. Thanks to Dolby Atmos audio technology, a next-generation surround sound system, you can immerse yourself in your favorite shows and movies. We've all been spending more time on our PCs over the past year. So we wanted to optimize the Galaxy Book Pro series to make every experience more comfortable. We started by studying how people use their keyboards. We looked at the way our fingers exert pressure and the elasticity of the keys to determine an optimal travel distance of 1 millimeter. This, along with a refined scissor mechanism, allowed us to build a smooth and springy keyboard while keeping the Galaxy Book Pro series thin. The result? Our best ever typing experience with the quieter, softer, and more responsive Pro keyboard. While designing the Pro keyboard, we slimmed down its plate and gave it a slight upward positioning. This created space for a bigger, more enhanced touchpad. This new touchpad and keyboard will optimize your scrolling and typing. But we know that these days, we all spend a lot of time on video calls. These PCs come with dual array mics placed on either side of the camera to better capture and amplify your voice. And intelligent noise canceling detects and removes background noise. So even if your dog's barking or there's construction nearby, your calls will have fewer interruptions. As you can see, we're bringing the best of mobility from our Galaxy smartphones and tablets straight to your PC. Of course, this requires both power and connectivity, and the Galaxy Book Pro series is no exception. To tell you more about it, here's Hassan.
Our Galaxy smartphones are like extensions of ourselves. We use them for everything, and that's why they're packed with incredible capabilities from top to bottom and from inside out. But what makes our smartphones really special is their secure, dedicated connectivity. Today, I'm excited to announce that we're bringing this connectivity to the Galaxy Book Pro series. We launched the world's first ever commercial 5G smartphone 2 years ago. And now, we're bringing 5G to the Galaxy Book Pro 360. With this level of connectivity, you're no longer limited to areas with Wi-Fi to download or to stream video. You can get online wherever you are, even when you're out in the park. And keeping your devices connected takes a serious high-performance chipset. So we partnered with Intel to deliver a powerful performance on the Galaxy Book Pro series. To hear more about this incredible partnership, let's welcome back GB.
Today, with the launch of the Galaxy Book Pro and Pro 360, Samsung and Intel marked a new era in our partnership. Built on the Intel Evo platform, the new Galaxy Book designs have been co-engineered and verified for an exceptional mobile experience, including incredible performance, long battery life, and instant wake. To further deliver on the promise of uncompromised mobility, we had to engineer something that had the thinness and responsiveness of a smartphone, coupled with the performance of a PC. We did this by optimizing PC experiences that are tuned from the inside out. We shrunk the motherboard, we improved the battery life, and we delivered the most efficient thermals to deliver the highest performance on the go. We also enabled an integrated full-touch display. And finally, for better virtual collaboration, we built an AI engine to make video conferencing with longer battery life and advanced features like background noise removal and background blur. Each of these innovations were critical in creating a beautiful PC that offers maximum versatility in the world's thinnest Evo design. And that brings me to the two final elements needed to deliver great mobility: blazing fast connection to the cloud and powerful performance. The Galaxy Book lineup is equipped to deliver 3 industry-leading connectivity solutions: Wi-Fi 6E, 5G, and custom Bluetooth enablement. Together, these technologies unlock anytime, anywhere access across all Samsung devices at gigabit plus speeds. And then last but not least, at the heart of the Galaxy Book is the 11th gen Intel Core processor with Intel Iris Xe graphics. It's the world's best processor for thin and light laptops, delivering real-world performance and capabilities for productivity, collaboration, content creation, gaming, and entertainment. And as you can see, every technology found in the Galaxy Book was integrated to keep people in the flow and focused on the things that matter most to them. And they were all made possible by Samsung and Intel's commitment to driving innovation forward and delivering a new standard for computing.
Thanks, GB. Our work with Intel has led to a lineup of next-generation PCs that deliver incredible performance with powerful processors. To ensure the heat is removed from the CPU and well dissipated into the air, we started by redesigning the heatsink, the mechanism that keeps your PC cool. As bar raisers in the smartphone category, we applied our learnings to push the envelope, reducing the size of the heat pipe to a remarkable 1 millimeter. We also paid close attention to the fan's design to optimize airflow. We fit up to 73 blades, boosted the impeller's diameter to up to 50 millimeters, and gave the radial blade a new forward curve. So, when you're playing an intense game, creating and editing content, or doing heavy tasks on multiple monitors, our enhanced cooling system helps sustain high performance. Our mobile-first mindset helped us redesign the battery too. We redesigned the battery cell by optimizing its platform, which led to the creation of this super slim battery, all while reaching a higher energy density. Simply put, we fit more power into less space. The Galaxy Book Pro series can deliver up to 20 hours of video playback or up to 16 hours of standard usage for work and play. The Pro series can be charged for up to 8 hours of use in just 30 minutes. We relied on our mobile expertise to make bold changes to the hardware, from the chipset to the battery. Let's hear more about these fundamental changes and innovations that went into these amazing products.
Designing new products is much like designing a new city. The product I have here is precisely that. It all began with a simple question. Why can't laptop be more like smartphones? By using mobile parts, we could reduce the size of hardware and increase the level of integration. And that gave us powerful Galaxy Book that's slimmer and lighter than ever before.
Galaxy Book's most fundamental component is the PCB. Its role can be compared to a city's infrastructure, like a road network. Mobile parts, including 5G hardware, were added. So more than 23,000 parts had to be installed in Galaxy Book. We needed to rethink the PCB configuration, called artwork. By optimizing the distance between the CPU and memory, we created the beautiful piece of equipment you see here.
We needed a Galaxy craftsmanship at its finest.
Next, we turn to the battery. Like a city's powerhouse, it's a cornerstone that defines the user experience. With our Galaxy expertise, we increased the energy density of the battery pack and reinforced it with an extra safety feature. We also added a longevity algorithm to extend the time you can use your Galaxy Book. Finally, we tested out the battery and found it met rigorous standards for capacity and durability. We're here to present a winning combination of innovation and craftsmanship. Meet the new Galaxy Book.
At Samsung, we're committed to innovation at every level, building better tech, improving your life, and paving the way for a healthier planet. This year, we took a leap forward to deliver a more sustainable Galaxy Book experience. It starts with our super fast 65-watt charger. We use gallium nitride, a wide bandgap semiconductor that can handle higher voltage more efficiently than standard materials. With this change, we're able to reduce the size of the charger along with the materials required overall. We also built this charger with recycled materials. The Galaxy Book Pro and its charger together weigh only about 1 kilogram. This charger comes with a detachable USB-C cable. So you can use this one super fast charger for your Galaxy devices. That's easier for you, and it's better for the environment too. We also slimmed down the packaging size of our new PCs by up to 39%, thanks to our thin and light product designs. That means we're creating less raw material waste and conserving energy. To top it all off, we even made the outer and interior materials with recyclable paper. Samsung continues to expand our commitment to an eco-friendly experience. Thanks to our mobile DNA, the Galaxy Book Pro is the world's thinnest in its class with a stunning AMOLED display and LTE connectivity. And the Galaxy Book Pro 360 delivers a gorgeous Super AMOLED display and 5G connectivity, all in a flexible 2-in-1 form factor. We're kicking off a new era for PCs, delivering the mobility, connectivity, and continuity you deserve. And this is just the beginning of our exciting lineup. Introducing the Galaxy Book.
As you've just seen, the Galaxy Book is designed to make Samsung innovation accessible to everyone. Students, teachers, creators, artists, anyone who wants the tools to bring their best ideas to life. It comes with a 15.6-inch display, slim bezel, and a body that opens to a full 180 degrees. It's available in Mystic Blue or Mystic Silver. And this PC delivers both portability and power. The 11th gen Intel Core processor with Iris Xe graphics, the same chipset on the Galaxy Book Pro series, is also available on Galaxy Book, delivering powerful performance while focusing on the essentials. We know an important part of the mobile computing experience is the ability to stay online and connected. That's why we're bringing LTE connectivity to your Galaxy Book. Personally, over the past year, I spent more time online than ever before. Whether I was catching up with friends or family, I made a lot of video calls, and I'm sure you did too. With Studio Mode, you can customize the way you look on screen. You can add lighting effects and use filters to tweak your appearance. And when you're in the middle of a video chat, you can easily and quickly turn off your camera and mic thanks to our dedicated function key. Just like the Pro series, Galaxy Book comes with Dolby Atmos audio technology, so you'll get incredible sound while watching a new movie or show. And with its long-lasting battery, you can indulge in your favorite activities. It also comes packed with many useful ports, including a micro SD port. And that's just one more way your Galaxy Book will meet your everyday essential needs. And of course, we can't forget about gamers. For you guys, we bring you the Galaxy Book Odyssey. Galaxy Book Odyssey comes in Mystic Black with a unique cover logo for a striking, standout look. With NVIDIA RTX 3050 Ti GPU, we deliver a smooth gaming experience, even in this thin and light design. And with its powerful Tiger Lake H chipset, this PC performs under pressure, giving you optimal performance. It's ready to deliver high-quality gameplay from the very best of Xbox Game Pass. Galaxy Book delivers 11th gen Intel processor and LTE connectivity, all in a thin and mobile form factor. Galaxy Book Odyssey has an even more powerful chipset and a unique design. It's a perfect match for gamers about to embark on their wildest adventures. Both Galaxy Books deliver the power and portability you need, with the essentials to take your favorite activities to all new heights.
Welcome to the Museum of Laptops, a journey back to a time before we asked the question, why can't laptops be more like phones? This way. Here we go.
Cave paintings.
Nope. Old Wi-Fi passwords used before 5G. Powerful laptops used to be so big and heavy. Oh, no touching, please.
Why not?
There's no touchscreens. No point.
Who is that?
It's you on an old laptop video call. No. Why not try this?
Oh. Oh my gosh.
I present to you a film on old laptop screens under bright sunshine.
I can't see it.
Exactly. Next exhibit. Now, prepare yourselves. You're about to feel what it's like to drop like an old laptop battery. Okay, I've just quick shared it to all of you.
Back in my day, you had to email it to yourself.
Well, luckily, Galaxy Book changed all of that.
Our Galaxy Books are now part of a wider Galaxy experience. They work harmoniously with our devices to add more flexibility and convenience to your everyday life. To tell you more, here's Patrick.
The entire Galaxy innovation story is shaped by the pursuit of a better, more complete Galaxy experience, taking each generation a step further. When designing the Galaxy Book series, Our most important goal, beyond creating the most powerful laptop, was to extend the expected user experience of Galaxy devices. Our Galaxy innovators extracted the DNA that makes a Galaxy device. With these insights, we took the traditional laptop and transformed it into an entirely new computing experience. It's the answer to a question: why can't laptops be more like smartphones? We took what's most useful from the mobile experience and brought it to the Galaxy Book. We had a special focus on delivering continuity through device connection, expansion, and sharing. When setting up a new PC, transferring the file that you have accumulated over the years is painful. That's why we added Galaxy Book Smart Switch. Just like Smart Switch on a Galaxy smartphone, it does all the heavy lifting for you. It moves all sorts of data, files, settings, apps. This time, from a Windows PC to your new Galaxy Book. We continue to deeply collaborate with Microsoft to lead a seamless Galaxy to PC experience. Enjoy your mobile apps on your Galaxy Book, thanks to the Link to Windows integration. You'll see for yourself how unified it looks. And with easy app syncing, even across different operating systems, your productivity will be enriched. For the first time, SmartThings is integrated into a PC. Again, making the Galaxy Book unique. You can tie and connect all your SmartThings devices on this PC. With the addition of Galaxy Book series, we redefine the possibilities our Galaxy family can bring. From smartphone to the tab, watch, buds, and now the Galaxy Book. We are truly excited to invite you to an enriched Galaxy experience.
Over the years, Samsung Galaxy has delivered meaningful mobile experiences. And now we're bringing those same experiences to the PC. We want you to have a seamless journey from the moment you take your Galaxy Book out of the box and turn it on. Transferring your data to a new phone is simple, especially on Samsung smartphones and tablets, where Smart Switch makes it easy to transfer your data and device settings. To date, our customers have made over 355 million data transfers with Smart Switch. Moving data to a new PC, however, has always been more complicated. You have to transfer all your files to an external hard drive, then copy it over to your new computer. Not anymore. Today, we're bringing Galaxy Book Smart Switch to our Galaxy Book series so you can easily switch over from any Windows PC to your new Galaxy Book. Once you've set up your Galaxy Book, you'll enjoy a more continuous experience across your Galaxy devices. With easy Bluetooth connection, pairing your Galaxy Buds with your Galaxy Book is a hassle-free experience. It's a short and simple process with an intuitive pop-up UI that'll be familiar to Galaxy smartphone users. At Samsung, we make technologies that work great together. On any given day, I constantly go back and forth between my smartphone and my PC. And we know that you do too. That's why we made sure the Galaxy Book series delivers a continuous phone-to-PC experience. When you first boot up your Galaxy Book, you'll be greeted by some of your favorite apps, like Samsung Notes and Samsung Gallery. I use Samsung Notes on my smartphone all the time. And now, those notes will sync to my Galaxy Book in seconds. From ideas that jump to mind to notes from your calls, simply access what you write down in Samsung Notes and continue your train of thought on any of your Galaxy devices. We've made similar changes to Samsung Gallery, so you can pull up your photos and videos from your Galaxy smartphone right on your Galaxy Book. You can even edit and apply filters just like you would on your smartphone. The new Galaxy Book series enhances the Galaxy experience, and we've been working with Microsoft to take it even further. To tell you more about our collaboration in bringing a seamless phone-to-PC experience to life, let's welcome the head of cross-device experiences from Microsoft. Hey, Shilpa.
Thank you, Stanley. For the past 2 years, Microsoft and Samsung have partnered to create a unified experience across Windows PCs and Samsung smartphones. With the new Galaxy Book, you can expect the exact same level of continuity between your devices, a unified and effortless experience. From your Windows PC, you can use the Your Phone app and link to Windows to seamlessly send and receive texts, make and answer phone calls, and access all of your photos taken on your phone in full resolution. And if you own a Galaxy smartphone, you can effortlessly run your favorite phone apps, from social to communication, side by side, directly on your Galaxy Book. It has never been easier to interact with phone apps with your mouse, your keyboard, touch, and ink. For me personally, the Your Phone app has been life-changing during our remote everything life this last year. Just last week, I was in the middle of a Teams meeting on my Windows PC, and I was able to easily text my husband about our child's remote school schedule without needing to switch devices. Now, the Galaxy Book can do this for you as well. I also have my social and communication phone apps pinned to my Windows taskbar, allowing me one-click access to my friends and family. And when it comes to phone calls, I can easily pick those up right from my Galaxy Book as well. With Your Phone app, your Windows clipboard and phone clipboard stay in sync, and this makes copy-paste a breeze across all your Galaxy devices. And to take your productivity up a notch, we've integrated the most popular Samsung Galaxy apps with our productivity Microsoft 365 apps. The Samsung Reminder app on your phone syncs perfectly with Microsoft To Do. Now you can enjoy that same connected experience when it comes to your beautiful photos taken with your advanced camera on your Galaxy phone. With OneDrive natively integrated with Samsung Gallery, you can keep your memories safe and relive your memories as motion photos, wherever you might be. And lastly, later this year, Samsung Notes will sync across your Galaxy smartphone and your Windows PC. You will also be able to search for and access all your Samsung Notes inside Microsoft OneNote, Outlook, Word, Excel, and even PowerPoint, making it an amazing continuous experience designed to help you do more. I am incredibly proud of the experiences our Samsung and Microsoft teams have created together. And I hope you will enjoy them as well on your brand new Galaxy Book.
Thanks, Shilpa. It's great to hear about the amazing innovations Microsoft and Samsung have achieved together. The Galaxy experience is all about making your lives better and delivering the very best technology we can offer. Most of us use our PCs to get work done, so we built a whole ecosystem around the Galaxy Book series to help you be as productive as possible.
A lot of us need more than one display to develop our creativity.
With Second Screen, you can use your Galaxy tablet to duplicate or extend your Galaxy Book's display. You can open up a design on your Galaxy Book Pro and sketch on your Galaxy Tab using the S Pen. You'll get to enjoy the best of both devices. But as we all know,
we tend to get more done when we collaborate. Easy sharing of our thoughts and creative sketches is important. And that's why
we're bringing Quick Share to our Galaxy Books. Quick Share makes the sharing process easy and painless. With a simple right-click or a drag and drop, Quick Share lets you share individual files or even a whole folder at once right from your Galaxy Book to another Galaxy device. It's also important to know where our files are stored. Quick Search is our solution to help you quickly find your files. You don't even need to know the file name. Just enter a keyword and Quick Search will do the rest. It can search the text within a file and even text that's embedded in images to pull up exactly what you're looking for, faster than the native search tool. And because we know PC users need to find and share files often, we pinned Quick Share and Quick Search to the Windows taskbar for easy access. At Samsung, we create experiences that are seamless, continuous, and mobile. Experiences you can enjoy across all your devices thanks to our incredible network of interconnected tech, the Galaxy ecosystem. We're bringing the benefits of smart things to the Galaxy Book series by expanding the boundaries of what's possible, starting with SmartThings Find. The new Galaxy Book's built-in Bluetooth module enables a revolutionary offline finding function. So if you lose your Galaxy Book, a nearby Galaxy Find node will transmit its location to your SmartThings app. We are proud to announce that to date, 68 million people have joined our Galaxy Find network, a global community that helps people find their lost items. SmartThings is all about helping your devices work together. The new Galaxy Book series will include SmartThings Dashboard.
Previously, SmartThings Dashboard was only accessible from Galaxy smartphones and tablets. But now, easily access your connected devices from your Galaxy Book, even while in the middle of your creative works.
With a single click of my customized morning routine, the robot vacuum will clean and my washer will run while I'm getting ready in the morning. And of course, you can quickly access your most used devices on Favorites or use Bixby voice control for convenience. We envision a future where our Galaxy Books become the perfect IoT hub. As we continue to build on this experience, we look forward to seeing SmartThings complement your life and make your everyday more convenient. The Galaxy Book series radically changes what consumers can expect from their PCs. It delivers a mobile PC experience and phone-to-PC continuity, the tools to enhance your productivity, and a connected ecosystem powered by SmartThings. And it's all waiting for you. Back to you, Charlie.
As you can see, the Galaxy Book series delivers a seamless mobile computing experience within our ecosystem. And for a truly worry-free experience, we've been offering Samsung Care Plus, our total care service, to guarantee your Galaxy devices against damage. Samsung Care Plus offers convenient customer service, such as hassle-free discounted repairs and help from our authorized technicians. With extended coverage, you can protect your Galaxy Book and every experience that comes with it. We're excited to offer Galaxy Book Pro, the world's thinnest PC in its class, packed with powerful performance. Galaxy Book Pro 360, a 2-in-1 convertible PC, which comes with the S Pen. And Galaxy Book, which brings you the essential features you need. With a full lineup of Galaxy Books to choose from, we're giving you the freedom to pick the model that's right for you. Galaxy Book Pro will be available starting at $999. Galaxy Book Pro 360 will be available starting at $1199. You can also meet the Galaxy Book from $549 and the Galaxy Book Odyssey from $1399. The new line of Galaxy Books will launch on May 14th, and the Galaxy Book Pro series pre-orders start today. And our Galaxy Book Odyssey will be available starting this August. Back to you, TM.
So there you have it. The Galaxy Book Pro, Galaxy Book Pro 360, and the Galaxy Book. Together, they represent a new era of mobile computing where your PC finally gives you the experience you deserve. On behalf of everyone at Samsung, thank you again for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Well, well, well.
Well, hey, that's I was going to say very early on, this is one of those events that easily could have been a press release, and then they announced 2 things that they just didn't tell us about. So that's always fun.
Yeah, I feel like you know, I felt a little annoyed, but I think our live chat audience or our live stream audience might be extra annoyed, it seems like.
Our chat audience is fired up for lots of reasons. Really quickly, I do want to point out, we had quite a few people trolling, a lot of really pro-Apple people. We love to hear all of your chat. Like, we get it, the M1 is a pretty solid chip and stands a decent chance of doing more computationally than the 11th gen Intel chips in these new Samsung Galaxy Books, but you don't have to be a jerk about it, is all I'm saying. So let's keep it calm, let's have a good time, keep the vibes real chill.
Also, really quick, 2 things, right? One, we're here for the next little bit to chat and answer any questions you might have, because I have spent time with the Galaxy Book Pro and the Book Pro 360, so I can tell you what I feel about them from real time spent touching them. The other thing is, I'd like to clarify for everyone that we are not Samsung, so if you're mad at the products, that's Samsung, that's not us. We're just here to tell you what's what. And also maybe share in that wrath, that rage. So stick around. You don't have to say goodbye right now. You can actually stick around and tell us how much you hated this event, because it sounds like everyone hated this event.
You know what really would have made this event a whole lot more interesting? And maybe this is just me, but if they whipped up a really cringy theme song for this, just like last time, I think we all would have been much better off. No one would be complaining. We just vibing out over here. Shirley, as you point out, though, you have touched and to some extent used both the Galaxy Book Pro and Pro 360. What are we looking at in terms of experience here? What are these things actually like?
Yeah, quick shout out, because I say that so much. Albert Aiden, one of our in-person real life friends, is also in the chat, so hi. So having seen the Galaxy Book Pro and Book Pro 360 in person, I'll say this. The 15-inch Book Pro is like insanely light. It was crazy. I picked it up and then I went, oh my God. I turned around. I was like, this feels like an LG Gram. For people who are not familiar, the LG Gram is like LG's back when they were making laptops, super lightweight laptop at 17 and 15-inch models, I believe, with really nice screens. But the Gram, the big complaint about the Gram was that it always felt too flexy. It felt like it was cheap. It didn't feel very great. The Book Pro 15-inch that I picked up, it's that same feeling of lightness. And with that comes the corresponding feeling of, this might be a cheaper laptop, but it feels more solid, right? It doesn't feel like it flexes as much as a Gram, and it somehow feels a little more dense and finished than like a Gram. So that was my first immediate feeling. The next thing, right? Obviously, the highlight of the Book Pro series, which differentiates them from the Book Flex and the Book and Book Odyssey that were announced today, are the screens, the AMOLED screens. So, I mean, everyone first of all, can we talk about how this event, they were all like, we're going to bridge the gap between mobile and laptop. And literally the industry has been doing that for years now.
I was going to say, you made an Ultrabook is basically what you did. Was there anything, am I missing something? Was there some that hyperbole was warranted? Because I didn't get anything if there was.
There was nothing that was super outstanding. It was new for Samsung. So an AMOLED screen, yes, right? That's usually you find that on phones. So okay, a phone feature that no one else has adopted into a laptop, probably
5G, Yeah,
it's 5G cellular connectivity is the first 5G laptop, and that fast charging for the battery.
I will say, I do think every laptop should have a built-in LTE or some sort of cellular radio, because you and I have been at events, there are people out there, living out of their cars, living out of hotels, back in the old days when people still traveled for work, especially. There's an entire road warrior class of user that could really benefit from just having always on internet. And I've really thoroughly enjoyed it every time I've gotten to use it, which is fairly rare. So yeah, having that across the board is actually quite nice, but I don't know that it's going to be a deal breaker, especially with respect to 5G right now. Do we know if these things support millimeter wave, by the way?
So there's not. So let's be clear. Only the 13-inch Book Pro 360, which is the convertible, is going to support 5G. And Samsung is not sharing details about the type of 5G coverage just yet, whether it's millimeter wave or not, or elsewhere, because I believe they still haven't nailed down kind of the carrier support for it and all that stuff, especially in the US. So that's the sort of detail I think they're holding for later. I was told in the second half of the year. Really quick, some questions in the chat before I get to the big elephant in the room. One, Albert Aiden asked, real talk, how's the keyboard feel? Yeah, 1 millimeter of travel is paltry. I love I think 1.2 millimeters is your bare minimum for a good comfy feeling, but 1.5 is almost a gold standard. Of course, you're gonna 1.5 millimeter is hard to get on travel on such a thin laptop, so I get it. When I typed on it, both the Book Pro, the big 15-inch Book Pro, and the 13-inch Book Pro 360, they both felt fine. I wish there were more, but they felt okay. There was travel, it felt fine, and I'm used to typing on an Ultra Portable right now, so it felt normal. But if you're used to a ThinkPad, a good cushy mechanical keyboard, even you're gonna find this misses a lot of that depth. And then to get to the elephant in the room I was talking about, Josh Sakdeva said they should have launched it without any event. Ratchet Rorschach said, just got here, tell me why you guys think the event deserves the hate. Yeah, that's kind of why Samsung threw a dedicated Galaxy Unpacked event for its laptops. I asked Samsung that question. That was like my first question ever to them at our Q&A before today, before they announced this. And they were like, well, you know, typical marketing speak, like corporate like explanation. Oh, it's perfect timing. We're so reliant on our PCs today, etc. We believe we have a really unique position in the market. So from what I understand, I think Samsung was just like, well, you know, people are using PCs more now, and you know, we're bringing all these phone-like features to the laptop. Might as well throw an event for it. Do I agree? I take Samsung's laptop business quite seriously, so I'll say that much. And I think sure, have an event, but like throw in some other devices. You know what I mean? Like throw in a watch. You know, throw in to make it worth the viewers' while. I don't know. V, do you feel like you were let down?
I mean, look, I never really have really strong hopes for most of it. And let's be clear, like this was not an amazing event by any stretch,
right?
But this is the kind of thing like we would have gone in first in the cover anyway. Like not all tech events are created equal. Some of them are just not that interesting. And because, you know, in a situation like this where Samsung is sort of ramping up its presence with PCs and sort of playing up its partnership with Microsoft, I can't, Sherlyn, I'd love to get like a sanity check on this, but I cannot personally remember the last time I saw Panos take a starring role in some other third-party hardware maker's event to talk up their products. Clearly the working relationship there, and I feel like that was the real thing Samsung wanted to play up. Cool. And, you know, we're in a pandemic. You could produce like a video basically that runs for 45 minutes for a lot less than you could just like setting up a space and inviting all of us to come see it and all that stuff. Like it was a fairly cost-effective thing to do. Like, fine. I don't think anyone's thrilled at the end of it, but, you know, they're not all great.
I thought that was hilarious. I thought like Panos pretending like he's talking to GB in real time was like awesome, as if it wasn't like pre-recorded and then projected on the screen. And then like when GB Gregory Bryant, Intel's Gregory Bryant, by the way, who everyone was calling GB throughout because I guess he made them call him that, was like first appeared on stage somewhere in the vicinity of TM, right? And then later on appears in a pre-recorded role talking about Intel and Samsung's collaboration. So it's just like, make up your mind, bro. But real quick, Gonzalo Costa asks, is Sherlyn going to watch John Carter? Yeah, I'm sorry my TV was showing John Carter.
Didn't John Carter get like terrible reviews at the time? Anyway, I guess that doesn't matter.
Who knows? But there are a couple
really
more.
Quickly, sorry. Garrett Blaine points out it was a damn Intel event. You can't see that? Yes, we can. We were going to get to that, and that's also, Garrett, a really well raised point. It kind of feels like Samsung just had like a bunch of obligations to its partners and just like decided, okay, we'll do an event. Like that's fine.
Yeah,
but I know a lot of the people in chat were super, super upset to see Samsung go with Intel's 11th gen core chips for the Galaxy Book series, as opposed to something like AMD's Ryzen 5000 mobile CPUs. Sherlyn, you have touched some of these things. The fact that I really do want to emphasize, like, what was your initial sense of performance on these guys?
No lag for me testing out most of the things on that I could test out at a demo unit, like at an event, like a controlled event like that. So, but that's to be expected. These are like brand new machines. There's not a lot of like RAM hogs just yet. It wasn't like Chrome wasn't even installed. I was still using Edge to pull up Engadget.com, that sort of thing. The main delay I encountered was like an inability to connect to Wi-Fi at some point because like I took like a unit outside to a balcony or something and it left the network or something like that. That sort of hiccup, nothing to do with the processor. I will say Intel is, to V's point, right? Like having Intel and Microsoft on stage with Samsung. Samsung is one of few laptop makers who can have that sort of pull. Because when you ask me to say like has Panos showed up at a third-party event, not really, because who else? Like Dell, Acer, Asus, HP, do they do these big events? Asus and Acer do. But Dell and HP rarely do like their own stage. Please don't give them ideas too. Like we don't need HP and Dell also to be thrown. Yeah. They got a handle right now. Like Dell and HP, if you're watching, I appreciate you. You know, like just keep doing what you're doing because these like virtual key briefings that I can watch anytime I want, much better than forcing me to sit through a timed scheduled event, because like I don't always have the time of day and I don't want to be like chained to my laptop all day. Anyway, that was a personal plea. Speaking of personal pleas too, Garrett Blaine made me laugh. And then you pointed out that they had the question about Intel. They said, this event made my breakfast surprisingly taste worse.
Sorry.
I wonder. Yang Ren's said, yep. Can we get John Carter 2 in Jupiter or Uranus? Well, this is the Engadget YouTube live stream. So
yes,
we
if you'd like to
unfortunately
talk
don't
about our film development efforts, please join us on other channels in which we can discuss.
Yes, V and I may or may not work on a film together if y'all are in support of it. This is us
Please
constantly
no.
shilling our side hustles.
Don't give us any ideas. That's the worst possible thing we can do.
V would do like an ASMR spin-off and I'll do ASMR singing or something. Anyway.
Hey, it's me. It's time to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360.
Oh no.
That didn't do anything for
Two
anybody.
quick notes on that. So one, Intel chips being used here, not only as opposed to like AMD's mobile Ryzen CPUs, but also as opposed to Samsung's own Exynos chips, right? I think the rumor mill was heavy or crunching out this like idea that Exynos PCs are coming. Now, this doesn't mean Exynos PCs are not coming, but we know for a fact that Intel not only is powering these laptops, but like has a heavy presence. And during the event, Intel actually published its press release saying or hinting at a future collaboration with Samsung. In its press release, Intel said this experience of Samsung and Intel collaborating is unique in the industry. And looking ahead, you can expect even more from Intel's partnership with Samsung. We will strengthen the cross-device experience by creating a new co-engineering team dedicated to advancing mobile computing innovation. This will include a new microarchitecture from Intel, leveraging multiple types of XPU cores, unique PC designs aligned with Galaxy DNA. So it sounds like Intel is working on some kind of mobile chip with Samsung, with this co-engineering team. Would that be the Exynos PC that we're imagining? I don't know.
Probably not, right? So
Probably not, because it's not ARM.
For those who haven't sort of been keeping up on the saga of an Exynos-powered Samsung laptop, I believe the most recent reports from a little earlier this year pegged Samsung as having an Exynos processor running in a notebook with an AMD GPU scheduled for release sometime this year. I think we heard something like the third quarter. So, just after summer kind of starts to wind down. That would be really cool. But now that Samsung and Intel have worked together for a long time, clearly with news of this like co-engineering team, they're trying to take whatever that partnership is and sort of dial it up a few notches. And I appreciate that. But at the same time, I have to wonder what effect that relationship will have on Samsung's own efforts, right? Like if Intel is here offering a slew of chipsets, whether you like them or not, with the ability to jump onto an LTE or a 5G network, you have to imagine that ticks a lot of the boxes that Samsung needs out of its ultra-portable machines. Would developing Exynos-powered laptops possibly be more lucrative for Samsung down the road, both financially and in terms of performance? Very possibly. But for now, at least, it seems like that Intel relationship might be the most important chip relationship Samsung has right now.
I do think that during the stream to our live chat was going on with people fighting between, and the Apple versus Samsung fight was pretty real today, but it's relevant because M1 chips, right? Apple's M1 iMacs just got announced last week, with the M1 MacBooks having been reviewed really well, and they seem to perform extremely well too. The Exynos chips, would Samsung ever be able to deliver Exynos PCs the same way Apple's M1 MacBooks have been, performing? I seriously doubt that, because I think that Apple's strength and why the M1 MacBooks have been able to do so well is that Apple actually made a really good emulator layer, which speeds up the entire thing. Like somehow vertically it managed to make the software speak really well with the new ARM architecture chips. So I seriously doubt if Samsung has the software chops to achieve that. I mean, I could be wrong, but not really. I've seen decks, the early days of decks. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I want to just quickly just flag Executoraptor and Batman's Wholesale Acrylic Paints. Hi again. I see your questions and I want to get to them. We love your funny names. They're great. But Tyler Henning also rightly points out, hey, now Edge and Chrome are basically twinsies now. This is a good point. But to Executoraptor's point, right? Why 16:9 and not 16:10? When $600 laptops are starting to go away from that aspect ratio, this will look old. Totally. I
would never buy one of these things.
Yeah.
Like, I need a 3x2 display. I know that's like very uncommon. I think the Surface laptop is probably the only one that immediately springs to mind. But a lot of people really kind of prefer that sort of taller aspect ratio. You're getting more done, at least in my experience. But yeah, it kind of seems like people are moving away from the widescreen, like the properly widescreen aspect.
Definitely.
ratio.
Definitely. Like the Surface laptops are 3x2. Most others are 16:10. So this is sadly a little outdated, but I will say I don't know what Samsung's reasoning for this is just yet. They do think of it as like good for, I don't know, watching videos or movies and stuff like that. Sure. Hopefully one day they'll get to making 16:10 at the very least panels, but that's here's a little bit of behind the scenes too as to like the hands-on writing process. So V, I'm sure you can agree with me on this. Whenever we write an article, this is where I'm a little similar to you in the sense that like I want to get every little detail in, but in terms of execution, I have to leave stuff out because I feel like things get really long. The people really need to know this, especially in a video. I try to leave it out, but in my written article, I try to squeeze everything in. And for this hands-on this time around, I tried to put everything in, but the aspect ratio discussion is one I left out. Like I had a note in my draft where I was like, 16:10 versus 16:9 versus 3:2. Like I had a whole note, and then it didn't make it into the final article.
The one thing you leave out of a story is always the one that kind of drives the most attention. It happens every time, but
yes,
you know, I completely get that. I take the opposite approach. I just like shove everything into my videos and hope someone watches it all the way through. I don't think that they do, but whatever.
I'm sure they do. You guys can tell us your people on the chat. Tell us your preferred approach, and we'll see.
Yes, we'll take the feedback. I also I want to jump in really quickly because as we sort of pointed out, there was a lot of conversation in the chat about the sort of relative superiority of Apple's M1 chip, and I think in a lot of cases that is probably true. I have used one. It is a very powerful chip. I will say though, for whatever it's worth, Apple sent me a sort of entry-level MacBook Pro. That's with the full M1 with 8 gigs of RAM and I think like 256 gigs of storage. So
Nice.
a relatively affordable device that a lot of people will find themselves gravitating towards. And I got to tell you, I effing hate using that computer. Like I would gladly, I'm traveling now and I'm using my like sort of dinky older Intel powered MacBook Pro because 8 gigs of RAM with that chipset in that entry level MacBook Pro does not do it. Like if you have more than 6 or 7 Chrome tabs open and you close the MacBook, like it just sort of hangs when you start to open. And that was one of the big draws of the M1, sort of instantaneous boot and sign on, which has really not been my experience. Like the M1, at least in its early days, has been, I think, a lot rougher around the edges than some people care to admit. It is objectively very good in most ways, but it is not perfect. And unless you've used one, I think it's very easy to sort of buy into the larger narrative, which is this is the be all and end all of new mobile chips. And in a lot of ways, and for a lot of people right now, it's kind of not. So something worth keeping in mind.
Now you bring up a good point, which is the M1 chip, and I want to kind of bring it back to this discussion really quickly. So in these machines, you get to choose, at least in the Book Pros. We haven't even got around to the Book.
Yeah,
Odyssey.
Yes, 3 other models. Jeez.
Oh, it's like I was not expecting. So these I didn't see in person. So keep sending us your questions about the in-person experience, by the way, with the Book Pro series, which I have. Before we move on to the Book and Book Odyssey. But the Book Pro, they can come with either Intel Core i5 or i7 11th generation models, which I believe someone pointed out was 14 nanometer design. So take it that, for what you will. And then with the Book Pro, you get up to 16 gigs of RAM. I think the base model starts at 8 gigs of RAM. And then similarly on the Book Pro 360, you can get up to 16 gigs of RAM. The spec sheet that I have is not the final or not even the near final. And in the one of the fields, it says up to gig.
Cool.
Just no numbers.
Extremely
Up to
helpful.
gig.
Up to gig. Great.
Perfect. Really, I love y'all for y'all to see this behind the scenes stuff because you can understand what our jobs are like a little bit better.
It
Back
can be
to-
rougher than it seems.
Oh yeah. Back to Batman's wholesale acrylic paints is question for a second here. They go, Samsung clearly thinks the continuity features with Galaxy phones or tablets matter, but they're doing it by adding an extra software layer, question mark, question mark, question mark. Yeah, so I gotta say, one of the things that Samsung did not mention during this keynote that was interesting to me after I got briefed last week was this privacy screen that they talked about.
Oh, that's right. They didn't talk about that
Yeah.
at all.
They did not mention it. V, you were on the briefing with me, and I was intrigued because in the PC industry, HP has been already integrating this privacy filter into its panel so you can activate on and off. So when I heard that feature, I was like, oh, okay, something similar, right? Like it'll make your screen a little bit opaque so people can't see what you're working on. And that's kind of how Samsung marketed to begin with. But then when I showed up at the event to check it out in person, this was one of my highlights. I was like, let's see, because I work on sensitive stuff a lot, or I'm just watching stuff I shouldn't in public a lot.
And that's something you want to admit here on the stream.
Did I tell you what I shouldn't be? Maybe I'm looking at cake porn. You know what I mean? Like just lots of Great British Bake Off, whatever. Anyway, I was very intrigued by this feature. Could be useful. You
We
know?
have to guess. Yeah.
Yes.
Transition. Keep going.
Yes.
Keep talking.
So I was like, okay, how do I activate this? How I turn it on? When Samsung's reps finally figured it out, basically you pull up this app called Samsung Security, and Batman's wholesale acrylic paints is right. This is all through a separate software layer. When I pulled it up and I was like, okay, so how do I was like, activate it? First of all, it's not supported on all apps. This is not a screen-wide effect. This is an app-by-app setting and within the software. Then they tell you what shortcut. So I hit the shortcut, which was Windows F11. And like the window like went transparent. Like literally I was using Edge to look at Engadget.com. And when I hit the macro, the keyboard that was supposed to activate the privacy screen, which Samsung's name for it is secret screen, it just went transparent. Like it went translucent. So like you can set the screen, the effect of the setting as heavy or as light as you want. But wherever you set it at is how transparent it'll go. And so basically, if you're watching this on YouTube right now, imagine all of a sudden you hit this privacy keyboard shortcut and like you can see through me to your desktop wallpaper. That's what the secret screen feature is. And what do you think of that, V?
I'm wondering if I missed something because that sounds pretty whack. Like that sounds pretty stupid. But then again, I generally don't expect much out of Samsung software, so I would probably never buy one of these anyway. So are we in agreement? This was a bad take.
Pretty silly. I will say, if you
Well,
want
what are
to
we
see
talking
this
about?
effect for yourself, we did capture it on screen for our hands-on video. So take a look at our hands-on video also on the Engadget YouTube channel to check out that effect. I burst out laughing. I literally started laughing. Samsung reps came over and were like, "Oh, so what's wrong?" I was like, "This," and then they were like, "Yeah." Great.
That is always the best part of a briefing, where you sort of spy something or you figure out something that's working as intended, and it's just not great. And then the dance, the beautiful dance that PR people
being
have
polite.
to do. Yeah, to be polite or just sort of like acknowledge that this thing maybe isn't all that it's cracked up to be, or could have been something else, or wouldn't it have been better if, watching that whole process unfold is honestly one of the best parts of this job. Just like throwing someone off.
Totally. To tie up my answer to Batman's wholesale, Batman WAP, okay? Batman's WAP, W-A-P, wholesale acrylic paint.
Probably no. We gotta find a different way of saying that.
Listen, that's what I don't know what you're thinking about. Batman's WAP. to tie my answer to you, yes, most of these features are through an extra software layer. So there's other security features like the webcam can be set to like take a photo of unauthorized login attempts. Say you leave your laptop in a coffee shop at some point. Or there's another feature called Privacy Folder, which is already a Windows feature, but Samsung also has its own take on this, where you can set up a password protected folder that can't show up elsewhere on the computer, so not on File Explorer or whatever. And then the last one is there's a block recording mode that kills your microphone and camera when you enable it. So you can toggle that with a keyboard shortcut. These are all through Samsung security. And then there's also a bunch of stuff in Samsung settings, like different battery performance modes. So optimized performance, max performance, silent, which just conserves battery, and then no fan. So quite a lot of stuff to go over. But that's basically like what Samsung is doing in terms of the continuity, like Link to Windows 2 you mentioned, and that second screen software that lets you use your Tab S7 as a second screen. Yeah, these are all through like, I mean, didn't Samsung used to have a Flow software for its PCs?
I think so.
Do you ever use?
It's been a minute.
Yeah. So it's like a resurrection of Samsung's old software that let you, like, you basically place the phone on the PC screen and use it. This is kind of an extension or a development of that. Okay, I talked a lot.
Yeah. Well, so let's keep you talking, because there's something else I wanted to get to. Someone asked a little earlier, I apologize, I forget who, but someone did ask, at $599, is the Galaxy Book sort of worth it as just sort of a quick, inexpensive, on the go machine? We have not tested this thing. We've not even seen it. It was completely sort of kept a surprise the entire time. But Cherlynn, just based off of your initial read of sort of specs and price, is there value in the Galaxy Book for people who just want a sort of no frills functional laptop?
I mean, sure, because it can be spec'd with graphics up to NVIDIA's MX, I believe. I'm trying to pull up the actual model number. The Galaxy Book itself, I believe, can get up to NVIDIA's GeForce MX 450, but it says external. So I need to take a closer look at some of these.
Yeah.
You can also get it with Celeron and Pentium, but why would you? And I believe that might be what the $599 comes with, right? The base price certainly doesn't come with a Core i3 or a Core i5. So Celeron, don't do that to yourself. It's 4 gigs of RAM.
I feel like if you're looking at a Celeron at that price range, either make the decision to spend a little more, or I would personally at that point just like buy a Chromebook. Like if I just want something that I can write on and watch videos on, like a Chromebook would probably do me just fine.
If you have $599, you can also check out any number of PCs with like maybe even better than a Celeron. You know what I mean? Like a I can't even at that level of Intel. I don't even know the difference really. And I apologize for that.
We don't often get the opportunity to sort of review laptops down in that price range, and maybe that's something that we should fix. So if you have thoughts about whether we should be reviewing a broader sort of span of laptops, we'd love to hear about it.
Quickly,
yes.
Sorry, I quickly want to just bring up. That's another word, not shout out. Bring up HiDef, who said she wasn't gangster enough to install a benchmark. This is true. I was not gangster enough to try running a benchmark. Not only was I not gangster enough, I also just didn't have the time. I had to take photos, shoot video, try out
these things are
laptops.
Very sort of tight scenarios, and obviously since we're still living in a mostly sort of COVID-filled world, we have to take time at like the beginning to make sure that like everyone is sort of like distanced and we've like cleaned ourselves off because other people have touched these earlier in the day. So like the tight time frames we have to work with this stuff, which were already sort of difficult in the before times, are made even tighter by the extra responsibility we have to take on to do all of it safely.
Totally.
Cherlynn, so we've got the Galaxy Book on the sort of really cheapy end with the Celeron, and I'm still just like, no, Celeron, go away.
I know.
But on the other end, is the Galaxy Book Odyssey, which to my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure chat will too, which to my knowledge is the first laptop we've seen so far that uses NVIDIA's 3050 and 3050 Ti Max-Q GPUs.
Yep, and I totally wanted to get into that, right? This is like we said before, we had no idea this was coming. We usually have a good sense of what will be announced, and that's why today during the pre-show I didn't want to guess too much. We basically knew. So yeah, NVIDIA hasn't even announced the 3050 series just yet. Like right now, what's out there, the entry level, I believe it's a 3060. The rumors were that the 3050 was going to be a more entry level for the 3000 series RTX chips. So I guess Samsung stole NVIDIA's thunder a little bit here, maybe. It seems a little unceremonious to do so, but yes, if it's not even been announced yet, this is indeed the first laptop to be announced
And
with
that's
the
the
NVIDIA
other thing,
RTX.
right? Like these are not insignificant chips to be putting in. Like again, as we understand, this is a first. So the fact that it just got flashed up in a slide for 5 seconds that a bunch of us happened to screenshot while it was on the screen.
Yep.
Like way to totally play up some relationships and just totally bury others. Samsung was great. Thank you for that.
I mean, I don't even know if NVIDIA gave them the go ahead to be like, yeah, sure, talk about our 3050. You know what I mean? Like that's almost as how shady it felt. But let's talk quickly about the Odyssey itself, right? This is not the same as the Book Pro. This is under the Book branding, which means you don't get that AMOLED screen. Okay. And by the way, I saw a question during the live chat asking about the refresh rates of the Book Pros, and I confirmed during the stream that they do refresh at 60 hertz. That's the Book Pro, the AMOLEDs. Back to the Book Odyssey, these are LCDs. And the Odyssey, I believe, only comes in one size, 15.6 inch. You can get it with 11th gen Core i5, Core i7, and like V has been saying, 3050 Ti or 3050 RTX graphics, Max-Q design. So they're pretty slim, but they're not near as light and thin, obviously, as the Book Pro. I mean, Samsung went on for a bit with the gaming related features on this. Besides a logo and a strange design, I physically can't tell what makes it so gamey. You know what I mean? V, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know, the Odyssey line is I mean, for those who don't know, it's Samsung's sort of line of gaming focused products, specifically notebooks in this case. Having looked at some of these images and sort of gone over the spec sheets very quickly, it looks about as basic and ungamery a laptop as Samsung could have made, which is to say, I don't see any RGB. It's just a sort of gray ho-hum machine, which is not necessarily a bad thing, right? Not everyone needs a sort of ostentatious, over-the-top look to let everybody at the Starbucks know that you're playing, Cyberpunk or something. But, we're looking at otherwise, as you pointed out, we've got the 11th gen Core chipsets. We have the choice of the 3050 or the 3050 Ti. But there are a couple other things worth pointing out. 720p webcam, which is not great. Let's if you're going to be,
but the PC industry is stuck on 720. I mean, someone did 1080p one time. I was like, whoa.
How we're so often willing to settle for so little. We have a fingerprint sensor on the power button. Believe we've got three full-size USB ports and 2 USB-C ports. So a decent complement of I/O. It seems like a very basic gaming machine, and it starts at $13.99. So certainly, if you're on the market for sort of a properly powerful gaming notebook, there are many, many devices that slotted way above the Odyssey. But again, we have not tested the 3050 or the 3050 Ti Max-Q, so it's hard for us to say just how good at gaming this thing actually is, but we will test it as soon as we can and let you know all about it.
Yeah, I will say the main outstanding thing about it right now that may set it apart or may help it get a bit, of people over from the Razer camp or MSI or Alienware. It's a 3050 Ti right now, right? But the second those companies get their hands on 3050 Ti's or 3050s, I have a hard time, seeing how Samsung is going to stand out other than more of its software things that we just talked about. Wilso in the chat had a very good point. Wilso says They should have at least announced an AMOLED monitor. The market is so overdue for one or
man.
even a mini LED. What a great point. I was trying to like find a second screen, like a monitor for my friend the other day. I was like, okay, you need like a 24-inch, 27-inch. Let's get you like good screen quality. So let's look at an OLED. There's not even an OLED out there. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
All I could look for were LCDs.
There are some, as I understand it, some OLED monitors out there. But Samsung is obviously like, I guess I was just trying to wrap my head around the idea that Samsung is, for many people and in many industries, sort of the de facto and dominant screen producer. So for Samsung to sort of go all in on AMOLED displays across two of its ostensibly, I mean, these are product lines meant to be relatively popular, right? These aren't sort of niche machines. For them to sort of embrace AMOLED displays at that kind of scale leads me to believe that at some point they'll probably scale up AMOLED production for sort of related accessories like desktop displays, like we all agree should exist. I think, and bear in mind, this is me just like having watched the presentation and sort of thinking out loud. It very much feels like how the new Galaxy Book Pros do might serve as sort of an indicator for how Samsung wants to approach building out its line of AMOLED displays for non-TV use. So we'll have to wait and see.
I'm going to quickly get back to the people in the chat. First of all, I can poop twice a day. Yay. One of our regular viewers has appeared and says that they're late and says that, oh no, I'm really late. I missed all of it. Don't worry.
No,
You're
you
here.
didn't. Turns out you didn't really miss a thing because that event was not fun to watch.
Yes. Yeah. You didn't you skipped all the not fun parts and now you're here for the fun part. Ritesh, I believe Ritesh Brawl is asking for the prices. So let's quickly run through them before I get to the other comments. Like, hi Def, I see you. I want to get to it. So V, you had the prices for the book and the book Odyssey.
Right. So I've got prices, I think, for everything but the regular Galaxy Book Pro.
I had the book Pros, yeah.
Got it. So the standard Galaxy Book, that base price, $599. We have not confirmed what that base configuration is. We're fairly sure it's the one with the Celeron, so maybe you don't buy it, but we'll see. And sort of further along in the Galaxy Book, not the Book Pro, but the Galaxy Book portfolio is the Galaxy Book Odyssey. It looks like the base model with the RTX 3050. That'll go for $1399. That starts selling this August.
Now we have the Galaxy Book Pro pricing and availability for you. The Book Pro, which is the clamshell, not convertible, 13.3-inch version starts at $999, and that'll most likely be, again, we haven't confirmed the exact configuration, so I'm just looking at the spec sheet and giving you the lowest spec available. So probably the Core i5 with 8 gigs of RAM. It says up to 512 gigs of storage. So maybe 256. And then the 15-inch version of the Book Pro, the clamshell model, starts at $1099. And the Book Pro 360, the convertible, comes with an S Pen, by the way, in the box. So let's start with that. The 13-inch model starts at $1199, and the 15.6-inch starts at $1299. So slightly more, and the base configuration slightly have the same specs like that I just said. So Core i5 and potentially 8 or 16 gigs of RAM at the base, and maybe 512 instead of 256 gigs of storage. I'm just going by what little that we know right now. So details might not be confirmed just yet.
One thing worth noting. So with the S Pen, the laptop's body doesn't have like a hole in the chassis for the pen, right? So it's up to you to keep tabs on that thing, right?
So I'm currently streaming to you live from a Galaxy Book Flex, and I'm going to pull out, it has an onboard slot for the S Pen that is very similar to the Galaxy Notes. So I'm just going to, I'm pulling it out now. And here we go. This is a teeny tiny S Pen that comes. It's a very Note-like S Pen, but it does the work. It gets the job done. It stays on the
In fairness, it's also like way bigger than the Notes S Pen, right? Like that thing is like it's like a couple toothpicks, maybe a little longer.
You know what?
All right. Well, Sherlin's gonna grab a
I'm
thing.
back.
Oh, you're here. Oh, look at you with your Note 20 Ultra.
Yeah, they are.
I forgot you had one.
They're close. They're
that
very
is
close.
actually a lot longer than I remember. I'm bad with sizes.
Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, so this is the Galaxy Book Flex. The Galaxy Book Pro 360's S Pen is actually one of the more pen-like, so the bigger, what you would see on the Galaxy Tabs series. Those, and they don't have like an onboard slot. So the Book 360 does not have an onboard slot for its S Pen. The S Pen has been upgraded though. It's got like it's slightly thicker than I believe the Tab ones, so it's supposedly got a more comfortable grip. And when I used it, I mean, it felt fine. It was definitely a little bit thicker than the one that Samsung includes with its tablets, and it's as fluid and latent as before, I feel. But I don't like that it doesn't have the onboard dock anymore, because it has it's got magnets, so it can attach to the keyboard or the laptop easily. But I just feel like I would lose that thing in no time.
I would definitely lose it because I am the worst. Maybe I should throw one of Samsung's smart tag trackers on it.
Or your AirTag.
You know, it doesn't always have to be about Apple, okay? This is Samsung Day. We can talk about Samsung. There is something I wanted to ask you, and also, I guess, more broadly to everyone in the chat. Obviously, the Galaxy Book Pro 360 is, flips around, so you get to sort of just use the touchscreen with the S Pen. But Sherlyn, do you ever enjoy using a laptop, a convertible machine that way?
Flipping it around in tent mode, you mean?
Yeah, to use it purely as like a tablet.
Barely ever. But I also am not like an artist, right? I feel like my friends who draw a lot more would appreciate that. If drawing is your hobby, or like hands-on, sketching and stuff like that,
is a big thing as well.
Yeah. If that stuff is really a big part of your daily workflow, then yeah, a convertible hinge is probably more helpful for you. I am fine with a clamshell. I believe the one I'm using right now is like a 360 as well, but I've never used it in any other configuration than a laptop, unless I want to do the other way around, which is where I have the keyboard face down on my desk and have the screen propped up at me to watch something more easily. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you do that, is what you're saying.
Yeah. In the mode that you're seeing on screen now, yes. In that orientation, I would occasionally do that. But the tent mode, which is where it flips on its head and sits facing you like it's a tent, that's like, I don't get that. I barely ever do that, unless I guess you're at a presentation. I don't know.
Yeah. If you've got thoughts about sort of using these sort of convertible PCs, mostly as tablets, we'd love to hear about them. I am personally very curious because maybe it's like a generational thing, right? Like you and I have come up in the years that we've come up in, we're roughly the same age, and we're used to sort of using laptops in one specific way. So maybe one could argue that we're less amenable to trying out or sort of living with these kinds of developments in a prolonged sort of way. But I got to tell you, like, I type much faster than I don't write regularly anymore, for better or worse. So for me, like, when it comes to getting information down, when it comes to sort of translating thought to text, a keyboard will always be faster. So, I mean, for me at least, the thought of like using a convertible PC like this to take notes with my hand, it doesn't make sense for my life. And I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people, though it should be noted that there is apparently a very strong correlation between memory retention, the actual writing of words, as opposed to typing.
Yeah.
So if you're very concerned about sort of cognitive function and sort of improving your memory over time, maybe something like this would actually be a net positive, as the action of writing sort of reinforces whatever information you're trying to process. So, maybe your brain would be better off using your computer in tent mode.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I still have pen and paper for that reason. Hi Def, the question that I wanted to get to just now. Hi Def asked, do you guys even do thermal tests? At Engadget, this is not part of our like review workflow. But in a previous life I did. My old job, sorry, I need to crack my back a little bit. At a previous job I did, we would use we would leave the computer running on like a set process for like a certain amount of time. It was always repeatable, so we always use like the same functions in the same amount of time. And then we take a heat gun and measure like certain parts, so like right below the base, right at the hinge, or right where it sits on your lap or under the trackpad. So those thermal tests I did in the past, but I don't feel like I'm missing very much from not doing it here at Engadget. The main thing you want to know is like, does it burn your legs, right? And I think that's something you can do without a thermal test. You don't need to know exactly like what degree it got to, because back then when we were doing those thermal tests, we would be like, oh, above like 85 degrees is warm and above 120 is uncomfortably hot. And I'm like how about it burned me when I touched it? I think that's good. But there you go. There's a little, again, more behind the scenes stuff into PC testing world.
I'm so glad to see so many people have stuck around after the extremely boring event that just happened. Garrett Blaine says, for what it's worth, I'll give anyone $100 if you can say Samsung a sad song on a sunny day. I technically did say it, but you should donate that $100 to a charity of your choosing. Mark Dell, classic Engadget community member. Tent mode is good when gaming. You can have the screen closer when gaming with a controller and has better thermals. Very, very good point. Not something that I immediately thought about, because when I game on a PC of any stripe, it's going to be with keyboard and mouse, WASD and a mouse going. But the controller use case is a very common one. Good on you for pointing that out. Appreciate it.
Luke Tan, not Tan, Luke Tan, also pointed out that tent mode is better for ventilation during gaming. So, there you go. It's also it's more stable than the keyboard, and I think other people have said that too. Now, I just started laughing because of the more recent conversation in the chat.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Because I can poop twice a day, yay, was rightly pointing out that I'm tired. Look, I'm always tired. I'm just old. That's what it is.
They also rightly point out that, yep.
You guys make her work like hell. And also, can I say this, V? This is hilarious. This
I'm waiting for
Eggman seems tired too.
This Eggman, I can poop twice a day, yay. For the record, this Eggman is tired. I'm currently on the West Coast, so I had to wake up at 6:30 to stream an event that I don't think anyone really enjoyed watching.
It wasn't as fun as the awesome event. And then Engadget, I believe one of our video team people, maybe even Kyle Mock, our executive producer, says, I do it to myself. Give me a vacation. I am trying to. Anyhow, to continue what we were talking about just now, there is a question that I saw. Vert D said, why is there such a big bezel at the bottom of all these designs? It looks old. They should have copied Dell's XPS 2-in-1. Hells yeah. We had a brief conversation.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, we had a brief conversation about aspect ratio earlier, and I think that's slightly related to these bezels, but go ahead, V.
I was just going to say, I wonder to what extent that's because Samsung went with a different kind of panel here. Like maybe like the backplane setup or the lighting arrays, some sort of technical minutia prevented them from going for a more fully bezel-less design. But I do not claim to be a laptop expert. That is what we have Sherlyn for. So I'm just speculating.
I suspect you're probably right. I mean, AMOLEDs, like, I don't know if they're even like cut at a certain aspect ratio, just more easy for them to be assembled at a certain aspect ratio, and therefore that's why they housed it like that in that sort of bezeled case the way it is. Everything else I've seen, right, a 3.2, a 1610 definitely has like a less of a chin. You can say the same for the iMac. It does have a huge chin. We talked about this last week at length, ad nauseum. So yeah, I think it's more like a byproduct of like manufacturing and the way panels are cut, and it's harder to make like templates for like taller displays right now. But maybe moving on, we'll see. Maybe it's as simple as that, or maybe it's something more complicated. I don't really have the answer. But I can try to ask Samsung.
For sure. And again, to be clear for anyone watching, we're just speculating. We're just hanging out.
Yeah, totally.
With you, which is always a good time.
Right. And then David asked, any news about Galaxy Watch 4?
We got
That's
sorry,
the
bud.
answer.
Yeah, that went on for a little longer than it should have, but the answer is we got nothing for you. Also, same to anyone who was hoping to learn more about a next generation Z Fold. Would have been nice. Would have been a nice little topper on this cake of a boring presentation. But you know, we can't always win. Two things I wanted to point out. First, this one's for you, Sherlyn, from Dream Again. Where do you charge the S Pen on the 360?
Good question. I didn't even think about asking that either.
Does it
doesn't-
require a charge? Does it use Bluetooth?
Right. Either it doesn't require, because I believe recent S Pens didn't require a charge because they draw power from the screen. Either that or they charge up so quickly they don't need, like, they don't take up that much power anyway. I think that might be it, because I remember when we were pretty mad at the S21 event when they said their pens didn't need power, but then they announced an S Pen Pro that could do the air actions and air commands, that those did need some power because they had a Bluetooth like receptor or radio in them. So let me get that answer for you right now. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll check. It was my understanding that the S Pens in Samsung's PCs were just sort of like dumb styluses, but I could be wrong about that. Sort of, well, not really related, but the next question down the list from V Millard: why didn't Samsung market the Odyssey gaming laptop? Is it worse or something? That's a really good point, and something that we touched on a bit earlier in our conversation. This is, for a number of reasons, a fairly notable announcement, right? It's got again, I'm saying it for the 1,000th time or something, the NVIDIA's 3050 and 3050 Ti Max Q GPUs. As far as we're aware, that is a first. So Samsung basically scooped NVIDIA and the rest of its OEM partners. So that's always nice. But yeah, it was relegated to a very, very short part of the presentation, to the point where even the like $599 Galaxy Book got more of the spotlight, which I guess maybe Samsung did because they thought that had a better chance of selling. I think it's a really interesting point that Samsung did not choose to play up its gaming machine in this presentation. And I have to suspect, as Sherlyn mentioned earlier, I have to suspect it's at least partially because of NVIDIA's involvement here. Like, I can't imagine NVIDIA was super, super stoked for Samsung to start talking about its new sort of entry-level gaming GPU for laptops before anybody else. So maybe they were obligated to keep it pretty short. But again, we're just hanging out and speculating. We don't have any inside info for you.
Yeah, I believe like all that Samsung probably could say was that, hey, we got these 3050s, but we can't tell you what they do, eh? And then NVIDIA will probably have an event very, very soon, or a press release very soon, where it's like the 3050 does this, and it costs only $200 or less. Now, Dhruv Karmokar 202 asks, where are these laptops being launched? Like, what countries? You know, man, sometimes I don't even know when they're coming to the US. For example, the Galaxy Book Odyssey has no US launch date just yet. Even though they did mention certain dates on the keynote, those were like vaguely not region specific. From my conversation during the stream when I was like, wait, that's the Galaxy Book Odyssey, I immediately hit up some of like our Samsung friends, and like they're not very sure about the Odyssey, whether it's coming. I know the Galaxy Book is going to be available in the second half of the year. But the Odyssey, we don't know, and they don't even know like details like refresh rates about the Odyssey either. So that's something I can't give you an answer yet, because it seems like even Samsung's own people don't know. But yeah, I mean, stay tuned. Unfortunately, like we only have like some US availability info, but I wouldn't be surprised if like some major markets would get it.
Yeah, and I have to say, I get the impression that like some of the Galaxy Book and Book Odyssey stuff caught everybody by surprise, not just us watching. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some people inside Samsung who just like weren't looped in and were also a bit bumfuzzled to see 2 extra laptops being shown off during the presentation. Maybe they were PR, maybe they weren't. Who knows? But there's a lot of moving parts that go into an event like this, and not everyone gets looped in. So I'm always curious to see like who knows what and when. It's one of the really weird, fun little aspects of like working in this field, kind of seeing where the information flows.
Speaking of where the information flows, hey, Samuel Dominguez said, I am a person, or I'm one that likes a lot of info in these events, and that's why I don't always like the Apple events. There's not enough info in them. So I don't know if you found this Samsung event loaded with enough information for you, but regardless of whether it's a Samsung or Apple or whatever event, you can always come to the Engadget live stream version of it, or the post-show or the pre-show. We will throw information at you if that's what you want, and maybe try to have fun along the way. So, Samuel Dominguez, come back.
I think Samuel raises a really good point, though. Like, we've said a few times that this was sort of a dry event, and I think a lot of the people in the chat agreed, especially while the event was unfolding. But, I mean, if at the end of the day, all you're really looking for is sort of just a list of information about things that are happening that could benefit you as far as PCs go. Like if you're looking for a laptop and you tuned into this to watch for a little while, yeah, you probably got a pretty good sense of what's happening and what price. I always prefer, and this never happens, but I always prefer when a company sort of puts the pricing information right next to the product they're announcing, as opposed to saving it for 40 minutes later. But aside from that, it, in fairness to Samsung, was a fairly informative event. So if you need a new laptop or are just generally looking to see what Samsung is trying to get done over the next year, not a bad event by that definition.
Absolutely. I just went through the chat and there's a few things I want to address. One, I can poop twice a day. Yay said the mice head is literally bigger than Sherlin's whole head, bro. What mice are you talking about? Tell me, because I want to know, because I am scared of mice, and if there are any, I need to know. Then Garrett Blaine, I need to point out, Garrett Blaine said, great job, guys. I don't know how you milked this event as boring as it was, but here we are. Yes.
Look, put Sherlyn and I in a thing for any period of time, and we'll just like gab the entire time. We're just doing what comes naturally.
We can talk nonstop for hours. This is why they put us on these shows so much, because like
it just comes easy. Forever. We're just gonna shoot the breeze. Actually, Mark Dell raises 2 points that I wanted to get to. First is how much longer until the next Samsung event. Going off the current cadence, I would expect another announcement in like 3 weeks, but that's not privileged information where I don't actually know anything. But who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. One thing he did mention way earlier, Sherlyn, I do in fact think I owe you a Lady M crepe cake, because it looked like this event might have had the legs to go for 1 hour and 1 minute, but it cut about 20 minutes short. So for anyone who was watching the pre-show, I sort of half-heartedly bet Sherlyn one of her. I mean, look, it's a fine cake. Google it if you want. The Lady M crepe cake. It's okay, but she offered that as a choice. And if the event was over an hour, I would buy. Or if the event was over an hour,
I would let you do an ASMR. No,
I don't remember that that's exactly what the deal was. And I was going to say maybe just like buy me a good pizza, but let's say it was the ASMR thing, because it doesn't matter anymore.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
If the event was under an hour, which it unfortunately was, I owe Sherlyn a Lady M crepe cake. So when I get back, you can have the cake.
A whole cake or a slice?
Well, I assume we were talking whole cake, right?
Yay!
Because like, I mean, look, if you're gonna give me the out, I'll buy you a slice of this cake. But
yay,
that's no fun. I will say this though. I will buy you the cake that I owe you as part of this bet, but you have to eat the whole thing in one shot on Instagram.
No. I mean, I've done that before, but no.
I know you've done that before.
I did. I've done this. I think V last year bought me a birthday cake when we were shooting a video.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I ate the whole cake.
We have a long history of eating. My favorite review of the last few years was our Android Pie review, because I got to use that as an excuse to buy a $35, which, by the way, $35 for a pie is absolutely ridiculous. But I bought a $35 cherry pie for a video shoot and basically ate 3/4 of the pie during the shoot. So if you watch that video, I start off in really great spirits, and as the video goes on, I just slowly die because I'm full of cherry pie filling. So anyway, if you want Sherlyn to eat that cake live on Instagram, let her know, because I lost the bet.
Anyway, back to the chat and Samsung, not cake. The people did point out that the stylus probably doesn't need power, just because it uses Wacom or Wacom. I don't know how to pronounce that name. As EMR.
I think it's
technology.
technically Wacom. I've been
Wacom?
corrected I've been corrected a few times that it's Wacom.
I've been told by Americans, multiple Americans who don't actually know how to pronounce things, what names should sound like. So I really refuse to believe anyone anymore. Another another user, Ma Yongjun, says Samsung monopolizes the best stylus technology, but they are stupid. Do not make a special version for designers and insist on using the full HD screen. Hey, I mean, you know, I wouldn't call Samsung stupid, but that's a good point. Like, they do have really good stylus technology. In fact, that's one of the things that sets Samsung apart. So there we go. I mean,
there we go.
Dude, are they leaving designers out by not using better screens and better special versions for designers? Who knows?
We Made Your Day says, I think they being Samsung, I think they should have come up with their own chip like Apple's M1. Not for lack of effort. I mean, we're pretty sure that's exactly what they're working on. It's just a question of when we'll get to see it. If you haven't been following the rumors, there was word that Samsung was working on a new laptop with an Exynos chip powered by an AMD GPU to be released sometime later this year after the summer, so in the third quarter of 2021. We'll see. I would love to see it, but we have no information on that yet. Alex Cutler says the cake is a lie, and subsequently, you're buying your pies at the wrong place if you're paying $35.
Yes. Yep.
Completely agree. I am very much like a grocery store pie person. That's like my standard for a good pie. But I figured, you know, we're shooting a video. We could probably write this one off. See what a $35 pie was like, and it was no better than like a $9 pie. So that was my mistake.
Yeah, I can tell you where to buy good pies in New York. But
I
we'll
bought
talk
the pie at a good place. It was a well-reputed pie place, but that made no difference. Anyway,
Obi Dean said, to be fair, the Book Pro for $999 is a way better deal than a similarly priced XPS base spec. Yeah, the XPS I think starts around the same, or if not, $100 or $2 more expensive, but I could be wrong. But you're right, the Book Pro does have some like higher end specs. It does have like an AMOLED screen. It has longer lasting estimated battery anyway. That fast charging, 8 hours and 30 minutes. The estimated battery life, Samsung said 2 different numbers on its stream and then gave me a whole different number on the briefing.
Great.
So I don't know what to tell you. During the stream, it did say up to 16 use of mixed use, 16 hours of mixed use, 20 hours of video playback, but they told me 17 hours. So who knows? But somewhere in that ballpark, let's say, based on like a between the 63 to 68 watt hour cell. So, I mean, definitely like seems like stronger specs than the XPS 13, but don't tell Devindra that. Devindra is Engadget's one of Engadget's main PC laptop reviewer, and
Devindra will just jump on and tell everyone why they're wrong.
Also anytime you say laptops or PCs, Devindra's heart just goes XPS.
You're not wrong. Samuel Dominguez.
The XPS 13 is even.
I think that's what his heartbeat actually sounds like.
XPS.
Samuel Dominguez says, so the new graphics in the Intel chip better than the M1 when it comes to gaming? Hard to say. We have not tested any of these. Well, we've tested some of them, but not as thoroughly as we would to consider a full review with sort of final verdicts and all. But it is worth noting that if you sort of go for what seems to be the comparable Apple model, which is probably the MacBook Air. The entry-level MacBook Air with the M1 has a 7-core GPU as opposed to the 8-core GPU found in the rest of them. So there is actually a disabled GPU core that probably doesn't help when it comes to graphical performance. Although when you're looking at that, you also have to take into account that maybe not every game is sort of meant to run on sort of M1 instruction set. So there's a lot of potential things that could affect performance there. So we will sort of test the M1 versus other sort of laptops in its price range, especially as those laptops get better chips this year. And we'll kind of keep everyone posted on how that performance tug of war plays out.
I actually pitched this. I don't know if we ever got around to doing it. Pitched it for an upscaled episode and potentially for something written as well. Apple's M1 versus Microsoft's SQ2, which was released, I want to say around the same time, but like sneak released on the Surface Pro X new version at the time last year. Very unceremonious announcement, not even an event for it. It was just a bunch of press releases. But I'd love to see, right? Like for you guys, I want to show you that head-to-head Windows on ARM based performance versus Apple's M1, right? Like to show you exactly what we're talking about when we say these things, when we say that Microsoft software sucks on ARM. But we'll probably get around to it. Back to Samsung for a second. This is not really Samsung, but Chris Turner said ASMR cake eating. Now that I can get behind.
We did spend a considerable chunk of this stream talking about cake in front of about 600 people. So to all of you 600 people who enjoyed hearing about Shirley's cake habits, please use every opportunity to let her know so she can eat the cake that she won as part of this well-earned bet on Instagram.
I love cake so much. V Millard says, you're having so much fun with us. This was a breeze of fun. Thank you. We really appreciate that. This is why we have these events. We would love for you guys to come back to our next live stream, which will be Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, here on Engadget's YouTube channel, where me and Devindra Hardawar co-host the Engadget podcast every week, more or less 10 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes we shift the schedule around to accommodate guests and stuff like that. This week, we'll probably chat a little bit more about Samsung and other news.
I'm laughing a bit because I think, based off of the incredibly small and somewhat dark avatar image, that executive editor of Engadget, Aaron Saporis, has popped into the chat.
Oh, darn.
Who wants to let everyone know to check out the upscaled playlist on our channel. Thanks, Aaron.
And yeah, that's a good playlist. You should check it out. I think a lot of people are big fans of the Upscaled series. I think you might like it too if you haven't discovered it yet. But yes, I also think that might be executive editor Aaron's.
Which brings me to a quick note. We're gonna do a hard out.
Oh, Aaron says we did do that. They did do the SQ2 versus the ARM M1.
Oh,
Apple M1. Whoops.
There you go.
I pitched things to Aaron and I let him take it. That's what I do.
Be sure to tune in to Upscale with Chris Schott however often we decide to publish these videos.
Yes, V, you were about to say something.
I was saying we're going to dip at noon, so we've got about 3 minutes left. If anyone has final thoughts or comments they'd like to drop in the chat, now is the time. Shirley's got a couple she wants to shine a light on. What's up?
There's a very important question from, I believe it's R7MRBLX, but let me see. Yes, no, it's from I Can Poop Twice a Day. Yay. I'm suspecting they're the same person now, but anyway. The question is, Eggman, what's your name?
My name is Chris Velasco, senior voguing editor at Engadget. Which was another joke you'd only get if you watched us before the event. So next time you watch us, check out that pre-show. We have a good time. I also did have a big coffee today, so I'm feeling extra nice.
V, reach out over to your left.
My left?
Yeah, try to give me a high five.
Oh, wait, sorry. I'm looking at something else entirely.
Oh, look at. Yeah, there we go. There, give it. Oh, high five! Yay, we did it!
I hate the.
If anyone hasn't yet watched Mythic Quest on Apple TV, I'm not trying to give them a shout out or an ever free ad. In fact, you know what? Don't forget you heard me say Apple TV, but Mythic Quest is a really good show. V, have you watched it?
I have watched it. I watched it all the way through. It was good. It was good. Here's the thing.
Did you watch the pandemic?
The pandemic special was very heartfelt and very earnest, and I really did appreciate it. I associate Rob McElhenney with a very specific kind of humor.
Yeah,
because he's worked on a very specific show for a very long time, based on a city that I used to live very, very close to. So I know this type of person, and Mythic Quest is not that. So it's just me. It's a me thing. It's fine.
All right, we have 1 minute left, so I'm going to say bye to everyone because we're probably going to spend a minute saying bye to everyone. But Aaron, our executive editor, also said that we did do the M1 versus Surface X video. Good point. I just don't pay attention to Aaron most of the time because he...
Go watch it. Go watch Upscale. This is the point of this whole thing.
To watch Upscaled. And yeah, thank you all for joining us. I'm going to just roll call a bunch of names. Thanks always to Mark Dell, one of our regular and most fervent viewers and readers. Louis the Swan, I Can Poop Twice a Day, yay. Batman Swap Wep. I don't know how to pronounce WAP, but wholesale acrylic paints. Jiffer, it was Idea, Wilso, Alex Cutler, Garrett Blaine, a frequent commenter today, Dr. Pro Plays, R7M, RBLX, Chiza, I think, Ziruni. We had a couple of Chinese names today. I think Ma Yongjun was one of them, and then there was a Ren Yi. Lava, oh, so many of you. George Hua, Luke Tan. Did I already say I can poop twice a day? Yay. But never mind, I can poop twice a day. Yay. Executor Raptor, Sandeep, Makal, Mike Jones Jr. I say names because I feel like people like hearing their names. That we see you. We truly, truly see you. V Millard, we see you. OB Dean. Thank you for joining us, y'all.
Yeah, we've got to run, but it's always a pleasure to hang out with the Engadget community. Honestly, part of the reason I do this whenever I get the opportunity is just to hang out with people in
Me
chat
too.
and sort of not write stuff for a while. So
Yep.
we appreciate it just as much as I hope you do.
Yes. Thanks for joining us, and come back Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Eastern for more of the similar, not the same. And then whenever there's a big event in tech, you can find us. So subscribe so you get notified when we go live and chit chat. Thanks again for joining us.